Hello, this is Debbie Kay with the League of Women Voters of Portland, and you are watching Video Voters Guide or listening to our podcast. We're here today to talk with candidates running in the November 5th, 2024 general election. The League of Women Voters is very grateful for the support of the Carol and Velma Sailing Foundation, the League of Women Voters of Portland Education Fund, the Weiss Foundation, and our media partner, Metro East Community Media. With me today is Will Mespelt, running for Portland City Council in District 2, which includes most of North and Northeast Portland. Welcome, Mr. Mespelt.
Oh, thank you so much for having me. I appreciate coming on.
Glad you could make it. Let's get started. Please tell us a little about yourself and why you are running for this office.
Sure. My name is Will. I live in beautiful North Portland in the Piedmont neighborhood. I decided to run for city council broadly because I would want to see all Portlanders live a life that is full of peace and full of fulfillment. And those two big things are going to drive kind of what my goals are as a city council member, and making sure that everyone has that opportunity and a share of that in the future moving forward. And frankly, it's just something that is very challenging as a Portlander to live a life like that now, especially for our neighbors who happen to live on the street or are living addicted. And that's the industry I work in and housing. And I want to make sure that we address things starting with the people in most need and getting everyone to where they can have that life.
Thank you. Tell us, what are your ideas for working productively with the other city council members from your district?
Yeah, specifically from my district, I think we're going to have a lot of shared values. North Portland in particular, and going into deep Northeast, I think everyone has a similar feeling about how things have been going for our neighborhoods for the last few years. And so having common ground there will be key. I'm also naturally just a peacemaker in general. I want to see people come together, come up with real solutions, whether it's my solution or their solution. If we're coming up with something that's meaningful for our community, I think that that is important. And it's something I'm always up to do. My idea doesn't have to be the best idea every time. I'd rather us do something to get the work done. And I'm working peacefully with each other, and avoiding conflict in a meaningful way is going to be really important, especially in a time where our city and nation are deeply divided and deeply asymmetrical in the way we deal with things.
For our next question, tell us, what, if any, actions would you consider taking to address the current concerns related to the critical energy infrastructure hub on the Willamette River?
Yeah, like many neighbors, especially being in North Portland, I see a lot of North Portland people who are going to be deeply affected by any issues that happen there, whether it's related to an earthquake or not. It is very concerning to know that pretty much all of the liquefied fuel that we have in Oregon is there at any given time. And so I do support initiatives to either earthquake, get things prepared for if there is an earthquake and subduction, whether that's proofing things, or if we need to find faster ways to relocate things as well. So I would support resolving the issue as quickly as possible, which seems to be a thing that we've had trouble getting traction from local government to do.
You are listening to the Video Voters Guide interview and podcast of Will Mespelt, who is running for Portland's City Council, District 2. Our next question, are you satisfied with the performance of the Joint Office of Homeless Services? If not, what changes would you support? Please explain your answer.
Not surprisingly, I'm not satisfied with the Joint Office's work over the number of years. They tend to re-release the same plan over and over again and not get results. It's one of the primary reasons I want to serve on city council, is to help push the city and the county relationship to actually get meaningful results. They left unspent over $100 million again this year, and that there was little to show for it. We had I think they got around so far 260 some shelter beds, which is laughable when you have over 6,000 people living on the street. So we have to get more hard goals set and be willing to have hard conversations, but also humble conversations with the county to get the work done that we desperately need.
Thank you. Tell us what skills, experiences, and interests distinguish you from other candidates for this position.
My professional background is in property management, so I've worked in pretty much every neighborhood in Portland in some form, managing apartments and businesses. And over again, we're seeing a lot of the same things. Most people just want to go home and have a nice place to work, to live and sleep and go to work the next day without all the other issues. So I want to make sure that we are focused on housing issues, making housing more affordable, making where you live safe. And so my expertise in that is going to be really important in the upcoming city council, from a council that generally just hasn't had a great knowledge base from the professional side in the housing industry. I also love baseball, and so I'm a part of a local baseball community that's Sandlot style, and I want to see us get a Major League Baseball team, as we saw on the news today.
Thank you. Tell us which, if any, strategies described in the draft 2024 Portland Housing Production Strategy could or would you support?
A lot of them I support. The timelines are it's a strategy, so they're not set in stone, but a lot of them are slow. So I think speeding up things would be important. But there's a lot of good things in there, whether it's creating TIF districts, making sure that we reserve our current affordable housing, and then prioritizing allowing new affordable housing. The biggest thing I support is revising and updating the permitting system, which is going to be a huge, huge win for getting any kind of meaningful development done in our city. If we want cheaper housing and more housing, we have to do that one, and I fully support fixing that.
Thank you, Mr. Mespelt. This concludes the League of Women Voters of Portland Video Voters Guide and podcast interview with Will Mespelt, running for Portland City Council, District 2. Election Day is Tuesday, November 5th. To find additional election resources, please visit the League of Women Voters of Portland's website at lwvpdx.org, and then exercise your right to vote. Your voice matters. Thank you for your attention.